Beloved ones, money is not a stranger to you. It is not an enemy, nor is it a force beyond your command. Money is energy. Money is consciousness molded into form. Money is a vibration clothed in figures, paper, coins, and digits, but at its essence, it is an obedient servant awaiting the command of your word. You have been told that you must chase it, toil for it, worry over it, and sacrifice for it. But I say to you now, that is the great lie. The truth is that money is here to obey you, to align itself with the certainty of your command, to move as swiftly as the unseen wind, when you direct it through the authority of your spirit. You were never created to beg for abundance. You were never intended to shrink before bills, to tremble when you see an expense, or to bargain with life as though you are unworthy of wealth. You are divine. You are the very image of limitless supply. Within you is the power to shape worlds, to draw opportunities from the invisible realm, to command the circulation of riches as easily as you breathe. For the universe does not know lack. It knows only expansion, multiplication, and overflow. If you look at nature, you will see this truth shouted back to you in every blossom, every ocean wave, every star-filled sky. There is no scarcity in the divine design. There is no poverty in the eternal. Lack is a belief, and like all beliefs, it is a spell cast by thought, sustained by fear, and dissolved by command. When you say, "Money obeys me," you are declaring a sacred law. You are not speaking to air. You are impressing upon the universal substance the pattern of wealth. You are speaking to the electrons that make up the very form of dollars, gold, silver, and every medium of exchange. You are summoning money as a servant, instructing it where to go, what to do, how to arrive. And the universe listens. It listens without hesitation, without resistance, without judgment. It responds in kind to the vibrational certainty you hold. If you speak with doubt, the response will be fractured. If you speak with fear, the response will be delayed. But if you speak with authority, with conviction, with the knowledge that you are the master of supply, then money flows to you in avalanches of abundance, unstoppable and precise. It is not enough to merely hope for money. Hope places the answer in a distant tomorrow, while faith claims it now. The language of command is not, "I will have," but, "I have." Not, "One day money will come," but, "Money comes now." Every time you speak with the vibration of certainty, you collapse possibilities into form. The quantum field, limitless in potential, bends itself into alignment with your spoken decree. Your imagination is the blueprint. Your feeling is the fuel. And your word is the command that sets money in motion. Speak to it as you would to a faithful companion. "Money, you are my servant. You are obedient to my call. You arrive in perfect timing. You expand my life. You flow to me through me, and around me with ease." Many live in bondage to money, because they have reversed the order of truth. They have allowed money to command them. They wake and sleep under its shadow, letting digits on a screen dictate their mood, their peace, their choices. But the divine law says you are the master, and money is the servant. This is not arrogance. This is alignment. For money was created as a tool, a symbol of exchange, a circulating current of energy. It was never meant to enslave the sons and daughters of the infinite. If you find yourself bowing to money, fearing it, resenting it, or chasing it, stop at once and remember money must bow to you. The servant cannot dictate to the master, unless the master has forgotten who they are. So awaken to your identity. Awaken to the truth that your word is law. When you say, "I am rich," you are not lying, you are aligning. When you say, "Money obeys me," you are not speaking into emptiness. You are imprinting the very fabric of reality with divine command. What is unseen will soon be seen. What is formless will soon take form. What is invisible will soon be tangible in your hand. But the condition is that you must not waver. You must not contradict your command with idle complaints or fearful imaginings. Each time you declare your authority, hold it like a rod of lightning in your hand. Hold it until the feeling of wealth rushes through you so strongly that you know, without question, that your world is rearranging itself to fulfill your decree. The universe cannot deny you what you claim in truth. It only mirrors the vibration you send. If you see yourself as lacking, as unworthy, as struggling, the mirror reflects lack, unworthiness, and struggle. If you see yourself as prosperous, as commanding, as overflowing, the mirror reflects prosperity, obedience, and overflow. This is not superstition. This is divine law in action. Money is simply one of the fields in which this law operates. Just as your body responds to the consciousness you impress upon it, just as relationships reflect the energy you send into them, so too does money align itself with your belief and word. Release the notion that money is hard to come by. That is a spell, a hypnosis of the collective mind. Look at the air you breathe. Does it ever run out? Look at the sun. Does it ever charge you for its light? Look at the river. Does it hoard its water or does it pour without ceasing? Money is energy, and energy is infinite. The only limit is the container you provide. If you command with a thimble consciousness, you will receive a thimbleful. If you command with a barrel consciousness, you will receive barrels. If you command with ocean consciousness, the floodgates open without restraint. Life does not give you according to what you wish. It gives according to what you expect and command. So when you rise in the morning, do not rush into worry over bills or tasks. First, establish your authority. Speak aloud with clarity. Money, you are my obedient servant. You go forth this day and return multiplied. You open doors, you create channels. You come in ways seen and unseen, expected and unexpected. Everywhere I go, money greets me, assists me, supports me. As you do this, feel the shift within. Feel the atmosphere of your day rearranging itself. For the unseen world is always listening, always taking instruction. Your words are seeds, and money is the fertile soil that brings them into harvest. Never allow fear of money to lodge in your heart. Fear is faith in the wrong direction. Fear is simply faith in lack, faith in delay, faith in struggle. But faith is yours to redirect. Each time fear whispers that money is scarce, rise up and declare the opposite with passion. Say, I am unlimited supply. I am open channels of wealth. I am magnetic prosperity. Money obeys me swiftly and joyfully. As you repeat this, you are rewiring the very neural pathways of your brain, impressing new blueprints upon the subconscious, and broadcasting frequencies that summon money like bees to nectar. The old programming begins to dissolve, the old fears lose their grip, and you step into the rhythm of divine abundance where money rushes to obey. Do not wait for evidence before you believe. Belief is the evidence. The seen world always follows the unseen. When you walk in command, money must show up, for the law cannot be broken. Money may arrive through a new opportunity, an inspired idea, an unexpected gift, a favorable shift, or an open door you had not noticed before. But its arrival is inevitable when your command is unwavering. Do not concern yourself with the how. That is the servant's role, not the master's. The servant finds the path, the master simply commands. Your only task is to keep your vision strong, your words steady, your vibration aligned with certainty. The universe orchestrates the details with precision. Those who master this law live in freedom. They are not swayed by economic tides, not rattled by the opinions of others, not bound by circumstances, for they know circumstances are fluid, shaped moment by consciousness. Even in the desert, water can spring forth when commanded by faith. Even in famine, wealth can appear when called by certainty. Do not let appearances deceive you. What you see now is only the shadow of past beliefs. Command today, and tomorrow must bow. Remember this truth: your supply is not a paycheck, not a client, not a business, not a person. Those are channels, not sources. The source is infinite, the supply is inexhaustible, and money is simply one form of it. If one channel closes, another opens instantly when you command. Never attach your abundance to a single stream, for the river of wealth has endless tributaries. Instead, anchor your faith in the unchanging truth that money is your obedient servant, forever eager to fulfill your word. When you understand this law deeply, you no longer live as a beggar at the gate of chance. You stand as a sovereign being, declaring with majesty that money must flow, that riches must obey, that opportunities must bend toward you. You are no longer at the mercy of bills, expenses, or obligations. Instead, they are opportunities for money to reveal its faithfulness as your servant. Each bill is not a burden, but a receipt of wealth already rendered, and the signal of more wealth to come. When you see an invoice or a payment due, do not shrink, smile and declare, "Money, you have paid this already. You obey me, and you return multiplied." Then release it with joy, knowing that what you command is already fulfilled in the unseen. The universe cannot resist certainty. It collapses around your expectation like iron filings to a magnet. Money as a vibration is drawn to the field of your belief. If you hold yourself in resentment, thinking that others prosper while you do not, you are commanding money to avoid you. If you dwell in bitterness about past losses, you are chaining money away from you. But if you rejoice in the prosperity of others, you are signaling the universe that you too are a home for riches. When you bless wealth wherever you see it, money rushes toward you to dwell in your field. This is why gratitude is magnetic, because it aligns you with the frequency of wealth. Gratitude is not begging, it is claiming. It is saying, "I recognize abundance. I welcome abundance. I command abundance." Do not confuse command with force. Force is born of fear, command is born of certainty. When you command, you need not strain, you need not beg, you need not plead. You simply speak, knowing it is done. Just as when you flip a switch, you do not beg the light to come on. You expect it, because you know the law of electricity. So it is with money. You need not plead for it. Only command it with the same expectation that you have when you breathe and know that air fills your lungs. Your word is the switch. Speak, and the current of money obeys. Money is not only obedient, it is joyful in its service. It delights to circulate, to expand, to create new opportunities, to multiply in your hands. When you hoard it with fear, you choke its current, and it stagnates. But when you release it with joy, it returns to you multiplied. For circulation is the law of life. Just as the ocean waves recede only to return, so too does money flow out only to rush back in greater measure, when commanded. When you give, give with command. Do not give with fear, saying, "I hope this comes back." Give with certainty, saying, "This multiplies and returns tenfold. Money obeys me, and it is expanding even now." In this way, every transaction becomes a declaration of mastery, every exchange becomes an act of multiplication. The mind that fears lack is hypnotized. It is asleep in the illusion of scarcity. But you have the power to awaken at any moment, to break the spell by declaring the truth. Say aloud, "There is no lack in God, therefore there is no lack in me. Money obeys me and I live in endless supply." Repeat it until your very cells vibrate with it, until your subconscious accepts it as law. When you impress the subconscious with certainty, it must outpicture that belief in your world. The subconscious does not argue, it does not resist, it only obeys. And the money in your life, which is an extension of that subconscious pattern, must obey as well. You are not separate from the infinite substance that creates worlds. You are not a bystander in the theater of life. You are the director, the playwright, the star. If you have written scenes of struggle, you can write new scenes of prosperity. If you have rehearsed lines of lack, you can now speak lines of abundance. Each thought is a line of your script, each word a decree to the universe. Write carefully, speak deliberately, for money is listening. It listens in silence, in stillness, waiting for your word to give it direction. Imagine yourself as a commander standing before an army of golden currents, ready to move at your word. When you say, "Go forth and bring me wealth," they scatter into the unseen, moving through ideas, opportunities, people, events, and circumstances, arranging the perfect path for money to reach you. And when you say, "Return multiplied," they march back with the spoils of abundance. This is not fantasy, this is law. The only question is whether you will stand in your command, or whether you will dismiss your authority, and live as though you are powerless. Stop asking life if you may prosper. Stop waiting for permission. Stop hoping that someone else will grant you abundance. You are the source of the command. Money does not obey governments, economies, or circumstances. It obeys consciousness. It obeys the vibration of the individual who knows their power. History has shown again and again that in times of crisis, some rise into wealth while others fall into poverty. The difference is not in the outer world, but in the inner decree. The one who knows that money must obey them thrives in any environment. The one who fears, obeys money instead, and falls into the pit of lack. Money is not distant. It is not hiding from you. It is around you now, vibrating in the unseen, awaiting the shape of your command. Each time you speak, money obeys me. You are activating its movement. Each time you imagine yourself surrounded by riches, you are shaping its form. Each time you feel the joy of abundance before it appears, you are magnetizing it into your reality. This is the art of manifestation. Not to wait for the outer to change before you believe, but to believe so strongly that the outer must change. Feel it now. The certainty that you are wealthy, that money comes to you with ease, that money loves to obey your word. Feel it as though it were already here, because it is. Feel the joy of bills paid, of accounts overflowing, of opportunities opening. Feel the relief, the freedom, the delight. That feeling is your command. That feeling is the vibration money obeys. The universe does not respond to empty words, but to words infused with feeling. When your command is drenched in emotion, it becomes irresistible, unstoppable, undeniable. Money must bend, for money is only energy, and energy is always obedient to the dominant frequency. So I say again, command money. Speak to it with authority. Love it, not as a master, but as a servant. Respect it, not with fear, but with certainty. Use it, not to enslave yourself, but to expand your life, your joy, your expression. And watch as money rushes to obey, faster than you imagined, greater than you expected, in ways more beautiful than you dreamed. When you align yourself with this truth, money begins to appear in ways so seamless, so natural, that you will wonder how you ever struggled. The path of wealth is not paved with strain, but with surrender to the law of command. You are not to toil for every dollar, as though life is a punishment. You are to direct the flow of dollars, as though life is your stage and money is part of the scenery moving at your instruction. Consider the air around you, you do not chase it. You do not panic when you exhale, worrying whether the next breath will come. You know it comes. You expect it. You rely on it without fear. This is the posture you must take with money. The same intelligence that governs the circulation of breath governs the circulation of wealth. Breathe out and know it returns. Spend and know it returns. Command and know it arrives. The greatest error humanity has made with money is to see it as a god to be worshipped, rather than a servant to be commanded. This is why people chase it endlessly, compromising their joy, their health, their integrity, in pursuit of something that was meant to follow them naturally. When you turn money into your master, you shrink your soul. When you reclaim money as your servant, you expand into freedom. For what use is money if you are a slave to it? But when money obeys you, you are free to create, free to love, free to expand, free to live in alignment with your highest vision. Many will ask, but how can money obey me when I have so little now? That very question is the barrier. It is the belief that the outer world dictates your inner truth. But the law is reversed, your inner truth dictates your outer world. What you have today is only the shadow of yesterday's beliefs. If you accept it as permanent, you trap yourself in a cycle of repetition. But if you declare now, I am rich, money obeys me, you are planting the seeds of a new harvest. Speak it as though it were already done, because in the unseen it is. The harvest must come. If you will only keep sowing the command, without digging up the seed through doubt and fear. There are those who try to use willpower alone, to force money into their lives. But this is not command, it is struggle. Command is effortless, because it arises from alignment with truth. You are not creating money out of nothing. You are simply directing what already exists in infinite supply. Imagine the entire universe as an ocean of wealth. You do not need to create the water, you only need to dip your vessel into it. And your vessel is your belief, your command, your word. If your vessel is small, your supply is small. If your vessel is large, your supply is large. The ocean does not limit you, you limit yourself. So expand your vessel. Speak greater commands. Dare to declare what you truly desire, for the universe delights in fulfilling bold decrees spoken with faith. Some may argue, but is it not greedy to command money? No, beloved. Greed is the grasping of one who believes in lack. Greed hoards because it fears there is not enough. But command is born of abundance. To command money is to know that the supply is infinite, that your wealth does not diminish another's, but multiplies the flow for all. When you are rich in consciousness, you become a channel through which wealth circulates, blessing not only yourself but everyone around you. Money in the hands of one who knows its servanthood is a blessing to the world. It builds, it creates, it heals, it uplifts. It is only when money is worshipped as master that it corrupts. But when money is placed rightly as servant, it becomes holy, obedient, and good. Therefore, do not shy away from commanding money boldly. Speak to it as you would to a loyal companion. Say, money, appear in my life with grace and ease. Flow to me in rivers of gold. Obey my word and arrive swiftly in the right amounts, from the right channels, at the right time. Then act as though it were already so. Walk through your day with the poise of one who is abundantly supplied. Carry yourself as though you are wealthy now, because you are. The outer must eventually mirror the inner. When you carry yourself in poverty, you perpetuate poverty. When you carry yourself in wealth, you magnetize wealth. Do not confuse this with reckless spending or pretense. It is not about squandering what you have, but about radiating the vibration of wealth in your being. Stand tall, breathe deeply, think richly, speak richly. Let your words drip with abundance. Let your imagination feast on visions of plenty. Let your feelings overflow with joy, as though money were already pouring into your life. This inner posture is the magnet. This is what money hears. Money obeys not only your words, but the music of your entire vibration. And when money begins to flow, as surely it will, do not shrink back in disbelief or sabotage it with guilt. Receive it with joy, for it has only obeyed your command. Do not say, "This is too much," or, "I don't deserve this." Say, "This is right, this is mine, this is the evidence of my command." The universe will always give you more than you ask when you command without limit. You may call for streams, and it will give you rivers. You may call for rivers, and it will give you oceans. But you must be willing to receive without shrinking, without doubting, without resisting. Every time you handle money, see it as your servant. When you pay, say, "This multiplies and returns." When you give, say, "This expands and obeys." When you receive, say, "This is my servant fulfilling its command." In this way, you sanctify money, you purify your relationship with it, and you establish yourself as master in truth. Then money ceases to be a source of anxiety, and becomes a source of joy. You will find yourself laughing at expenses, smiling at bills, rejoicing in every transaction, because you know the law of money obeys you. There is no limit to how far this can go. There are those who command not only money for their needs, but money for their dreams, money for their vision, money to uplift humanity. When you speak from such a place, the universe delights all the more to obey, for your command is aligned with expansion for all. Imagine what you could create, what you could build, what you could heal, if you truly knew that money must obey your word. Imagine how many lives could be uplifted, how much joy multiplied, how much beauty manifested. This is why it is your duty to command money rightly, boldly, joyfully, not merely for yourself, but for the world that awaits the gifts you will bring when you are free. So I urge you now, rise in your command. Do not whisper to money timidly. Do not negotiate with it as though it were above you. Stand tall, speak clearly, and declare, "Money, you obey me. You appear now, You circulate now, you multiply now. You expand my life, you support my vision, you serve my joy. Hold that decree until it becomes the very air you breathe, until you cannot think otherwise, until money itself rushes to obey, as naturally as waves obey the pull of the moon. Beloved, let this truth sink into the very marrow of your being. Money was never created to command you. It was never meant to dictate your choices, chain your imagination, or burden your heart. Money is an obedient servant, a faithful companion, a current of divine energy awaiting your word. The moment you rise into certainty, the moment you declare with unwavering authority, "Money obeys me," the unseen substance of the universe bends to fulfill it. Do not leave this room the same as you entered. Do not walk another day in fear of lack, or in bondage to digits and bills. Stand in your sovereignty. Recognize that your command is law, your belief is blueprint, your feeling is fuel, and your word is the switch that turns on the current of supply. When you walk with this truth, money becomes effortless. It appears at the right time, in the right amount, in the right way, because it has no choice but to obey the Master's voice. So speak boldly, walk richly, act joyfully, and live freely. Let money circulate through your hands as a servant of your highest vision. Let it build, heal, uplift, and expand through you. And whenever fear whispers or doubt rises, silence it with the unshakable decree, "Money, you obey me, you are my servant, you arrive swiftly, you return multiplied, you are unlimited, and I command you now," and so it is.